The next afternoon, Daddy brought my sister home from school as usual. I ran out to see her. School days seemed like forever when I was waiting for her. She didn't get straight out of the car. I could see her silhouette leaned against the window. Daddy's door opened, and he called to me. Told me she was sick, and he would bring her inside. I ran ahead of him to open the door. He brought her wrapped in a blanket. Something in my stomach felt funny, felt wrong. I wanted to get Mummy, but she was in bed. She said she had a headache and not to disturb her unless it was important. I wanted to get her, I did. But I didn't want her or Daddy to get mad at me. Daddy walked into the bathroom with my sister. I didn't know what I was supposed to do, follow or stay. But he called out for me to come. I did. Daddy started to run a bath. I hadn't had a bath with Daddy since I'd slipped over that time. That's what I'd done. Slipped over. That's what happened. Mummy said so. But I still was afraid of him, of that bath. I asked if the bath was for me. No, he'd replied. For your sister. You're going to help me bath her. Daddy had pulled the blanket over my sister's face, so I couldn't see her. I wanted to pull it away. You only put blankets over someone's face if they're dead. She wasn't dead. I could see her stomach moving up and down. I wanted to reach over. I almost did. But something in Daddy's eyes told me not to. It scared me. They looked black, almost. Like they weren't even there. Startled, I stepped backwards, the back of my legs hitting the bath. I blinked. Daddy was there. Just Daddy. He was my daddy. But he still scared me. I had to look away, do something else. The bath was full enough. I pulled my fingers through the water to make sure it was just the right kind of warm. I nodded, more to myself than Daddy, and he picked up my sister. He pulled the blanket down slowly over her face. Her hair fell out, falling down over Daddy's hand that supported her neck. It looked darker, wet, and it hung in limp strands. I didn't want to look at her face. But I had to see it. Make sure she was all right. I had to stand on my toes to see her. Her cheeks looked pale, ghostly, her lips far too white. Under her eyes were dark. She looked scary. But all right. Daddy started to undress her. He pulled her shirt over her head, took off her skirt, unclipped her shoes. I searched her body with my eyes. She looked normal. I didn't know what I expected Daddy to have done to her. But I expected something other than nothing. He pulled the blanket away and gently lowered her into the bath, supporting her head so it stayed above the water. She didn't move at all. I didn't breathe for several seconds. I just waited, watching, for him to put her head under, to hold it there. But he didn't. The water started to turn a very weak red around her neck, where he was holding her. He moved his hand gently along her skin, and blobs of red fell into the water and dispersed into an evil, opaque cloud. After a little while, the whole bath was red. He lifted my sister out and into a towel, laid her down, began to dry her off. I bent down to try and see the back of her neck, to see why it was bleeding so much, but I saw nothing, and I dared not try and move her. Daddy and I dressed her in silence. Then he gently picked her up and walked down the hallway to the two bedrooms, hers and mine. He slowly laid her onto her bed, pulling the blankets up to her collarbone. Her head rolled to the side when he let it go, facing us, eyes closed. "Say good night to your sister," he whispered coarsely. My heart was hammering in my chest. I took a step towards the bed. Breathe, I thought. Another step. My knees touched the wood on the side. I put a hand on the bed frame, steadying myself. With the other hand, I brushed the hair over her neck backwards, revealing bruised skin and a deep laceration. I kissed her softly on the cheek. I told myself not to cry. Daddy wouldn't like it if I cried. But I couldn't stop the tear that slipped out of my eye, down my cheek and onto hers. It looked like she was crying, too. Her face looked even paler in the dim light coming in from the corridor, her lips, so white yet almost blue.
She was sick.
Very sick. I didn't want to leave her, not like this. Not by herself. But Daddy's hand on my shoulder was firm. It told me it was time to go. I considered fighting. I didn't want to be alone with him. But I couldn't wake Mummy. So I pulled my hand away from her hair, brushing the tear off her cheek. "Goodbye," I whispered. I wish now that I'd known that would be the last time I would ever say goodbye to her.